Hello and welcome to Horizon Overland. In today's video, I'm going to show you my latest build, the 2003 Suburban Z71, my very first 9th generation. This build is going to be similar to my previous 8th generation Suburbans, but also different. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright guys, so here it is. To quickly recap, this is the 2003 Z71 and it only has 116,000 miles. It's in excellent shape and it's been very well taken care of. You could see the original paint still looks very, very good. I did a video review on this rig before any work was done on it a few months back. Check out that video if you'd like to get more details on it. But let's go ahead and move on with the work that was done on the exterior. Well, not a lot has been done on the exterior. Because this is such a nice rig, the theme of this rig was everything removable, meaning nothing was permanently changed or done on this rig. The only exterior item we see is the roof basket. It's a 5 feet by 4 feet roof basket. And the beautiful thing about the 9th generation Suburbans is that the spare tire no longer sits in the back. When I do the build, I don't have to move the spare tire up top to the roof basket. The 9th generation Suburbans have their spare tires in the bottom rear area behind the tow hitch. So the downside is a smaller tank. I believe it's a 32-gallon tank, unlike the massive 42-gallon tanks that is found on the 8th generation Suburbans. But the positive, which is a big positive, is that the spare tire sits below the vehicle, which means more room inside and on top on the roof basket. I usually install 200 watts of solar on the front side of the roof. I bolt the solar panels on the roof and then I seal them tight. But I did not want to do that on this beautiful Suburban, because it's in such great shape and it's becoming increasingly rare to find these with low miles. So no permanent changes were done on this. The Z71 package kind of already comes with the sidebars and the fender flares, which what I usually do on my upgrades. I did not want to do any LED lights and I did not want to do the brush guard. I like the look of it just the way it is. Now let's go ahead and move on to the interior. All right, guys, moving on to the interior. The only thing that was done to the interior is the addition of a rear view camera that can be turned on full time to act as a rear view mirror. Usually I do like stereos, like upgrade the stereo, but I decided to leave this one alone. This is a 6-disc factory CD changer, and the Suburban is fully loaded and it comes with the Bose sound system and it just sounds great, and I really didn't want to mess with it. But this is your typical fully loaded Suburban. It has power everything: windows, door locks, mirrors, heated seats, memory package, adjustable foot pedals, dual power seats. You could see how beautiful the leather is. Everything is in just excellent shape. And this Suburban actually has a bonus feature. It has a DVD player. And here are the remotes for the screens in the back of the headrests, and these are like the wireless headphones. You want to just kind of lounge in the back of the platform and watch a good old DVD, you can do that in this rig. So that's pretty much the front side. Let's go ahead and move to the back now. All right, moving on to the back. Here you could see the DVD screens in the back of the headrest along with the wireless headphones. Down here you could see radio controls, and then the climate control for the rear is actually up here. This is a 5-passenger 2-person camper setup. So in a second now I'm going to go ahead and fold down the rear seats in order to put the platform and set everything up. Okay, here's the platform. The very first thing we notice is that I finally got around to changing the stain color. This is a new stain. It's called Jacobine, and I'm absolutely in love with this stain. Final result turned out really, really good. It kind of gives it a more quality look. A lot of you did not like the old stain, the more orange looking stain, but this one seems to be getting a lot of raves. So I'm very, very happy that I finally got around to changing the color, and it looks great. The second thing we notice on this particular build is that the platform is actually elevated about 2 inches. The reason why is because the 9th generation Suburbans have more headroom inside. They have 2 more inches of headroom. This translates to having more storage underneath. Change number 3 has to do with the side shelvings. You notice now we have little cutouts. I've decided to retain the original side bezels that already have kind of little pouches, little inserts in them, and I've decided to kind of open it up in order to have more storage inside those inserts, and you could see it on both sides. The only thing that I've actually removed is the 3rd row seat in the back to be able to, build the bed platform. But, when you do want to remove everything and bring this Z71 back to an SUV, a full-time SUV, you can easily put back the 3rd row seat, no problem. The only power source we have is a DC outlet, which has your USB and your 12 volt. You could plug in USB lamps, USB fans. This reader reads the battery level of the secondary battery, which is no longer located in the rear. Now it's actually located in the front, under the hood, which is perfect because the 9th generation Suburbans have a secondary battery slot that you could utilize. We no longer have the solar controller down here or the inverter outlet or the inverter itself. I've decided not to do the inverter. Again, just kind of going with the theme of this build, which is everything removable. Overall, this build is gonna still be very functional as a overlanding vehicle with everything that you need to have a great experience. So this is the smart isolator that connects the AGM battery that is rated at 75 amp hour to the starting battery. Fits very nice and snug in this part of the engine bay. These 9th generation Suburbans, they actually offered an extra kind of area for a secondary battery. That's the isolator that I usually have, and it connects both batteries together when they are above 12.8 volts, but then it also automatically shuts off the connection when they are below 12.8 volts, so that way the front start battery never ever drains too low, so you'll always have enough juice to start this rig up. When the engine is turned on, both batteries are getting charged, and when you turn off the engine, that's when we actually hook up our portable solar panels to these terminals right here, and then keep this battery topped off. So here's the portable solar panel. It comes with its own solar controller. We got some adapters, some battery connectors, and a cable to connect from the solar panels to the solar controller and then to the battery. All this stuff kind of comes in that pouch. This is a very kind of cool design to where they have these fabric handles, and then you have your pouch, so it looks kind of like a bag, but these are actually the solar panels. So let me go ahead and open it up so you guys could see it. This kit is rated at 160 watts of total output, and the solar controller is 10 amps. They're very thin, and the whole thing is very light, easy to carry. The benefit of having a portable solar panel kit is that you can move the solar panels to where the sun is. You can keep your rig parked in the shade, but then you can also move these panels wherever there's sun. You can also get a longer cable, so you have a little bit more freedom to move these panels. It's gonna require a little bit of assembly, but it's not that bad. Once you've got everything is pretty much plug and play, and then these are very simple battery connectors. All right, here's the rear area of the build. First thing I want to talk about is the 9th generation Suburbans actually come with a liftgate. They also do come with barn doors, but I find the liftgate to be the best setup out of all the options that the Suburbans have. There's a really cool feature. The rear glass can be opened independent of the entire liftgate. If you just kind of press this button right here, you can just kind of open up the glass part of the liftgate, and then you can access whatever you need to access. Notice the insulation. The insulation can easily be removed. It's just Velcroed on. If you'd like to remove that to have more visibility, from the rear view mirror, you could just kind of remove the insulation. So yeah, that's the glass part of the liftgate. Let me go ahead and open the liftgate now. So I'm going to close this guy up. And then here we go. So the benefit of having a liftgate is that you could walk all the way up to the back area, but also, if it's raining, this could be a really good shelter, as well as if it's really, sunny outside, this is an excellent source of shade. So here's the kitchen area. Now it looks very similar to my previous 8th generation Suburban builds in terms of layout. We have the fridge on this side, and then the kitchen sink on that side, and then we have the drawers on soft closing slides. But again, because of the extra vertical space that we have on the 9th generation Suburbans, we have 2 more inches up top, which means that we have now more space under the platform, so we have larger drawers. Here are the USB. So this is the 12-volt fridge that plugs into here. This is the 55-quart fridge that I usually like to use. We have the 5-pound refillable propane tank over here. Down here we have the Coleman 2-burner stove, and right behind it sits the foldable table in the back. The kitchen sink is also easily removable. We have little thumb screws right here. We got 1, 2, and then we have the 3rd one in the back right there. And then once you unscrew those, you're able to then take out the kitchen sink. You're also able to take out the fridge. You have a beautiful view that you'd like to take all in from the comfort of the foldable mattress. You can just kind of do that by removing those 2 items in the back. So here's the drawer, and inside this drawer we have a topper for the 2nd drawer, as well as a secondary topper that acts as a platform for the stove. And here is the secondary drawer, the larger one. And then here we have some stuff for the fridge. This is the hose for the propane, and then this is the plug for the fridge. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the topper on so you could see how that works. So this topper has a little edge to it. This edge allows it to be securely placed on top of the drawer, and then doesn't move anywhere. So I'm pushing on it right now, and it doesn't slide in anymore because of the little stopper there, and then you can't even pull it out. So this becomes a very solid platform. And now I'm gonna go ahead and take out the stove and show you where it sits on the secondary drawer. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay the stove right here, and then open this the smaller drawer, put the topper right here in the front, close it like that, and then the stove can sit right on top of that little area. It becomes like a little mini surface area for the stove, and then you could use the stove here, and then you could do the prepping here, serving whatever you need. So those are the drawers for this build. Now let me go ahead and show you how the kitchen sink can be removed. Okay guys, so here's the final result. So again, the kitchen was removed from the 3 slots and was placed right there on the table. You could still use it while it's on the table, no problem. The fridge sits right next to it, and the fridge has a cord long enough to also still be plugged in to the outlet, so the fridge will still, you know, be functional even if it sits on the table outside. And here's the stove sitting on its own platform. This could potentially be your camping setup if you want to open up the back. And again, you know, also you can take full advantage of that lift gate to provide, you know, shade or shelter from the rain. So that's pretty much the build, guys. So that concludes the video tour of this beautiful 2003 Suburban Z71. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and until next time, take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.